Hello and welcome back to Automation and beamng.drive. Today we are making a limousine for the glorious leader Kim Il-sung. And to do that, we are going to need various different technologies from around the world, but we're on a bit of a budget. So we have bought this body style off of the Russians, and it is going to be a steel panel material on a ladder chassis, also made out of steel. It is going to be a longitudinal engine with double wishbone at the front and semi-trailing arm at the rear. It is going to have a 60-degree V6 with a cast iron block and head pushrod, and it's going to be 3.2 litres. It is going to have fully cast internals as well as no harmonic damper. It is going to be running on carburation. That's not how it goes, is it? It's going to be running on a carburetor probably, because I don't really feel like using either of these two. Like, they're quite costly when it comes to engineering time compared to a carburetor. So this is 37 engineering time versus... so we're going to go just regular 2-barrel carb. Only going to use one of them, as that's all we really need to use. Don't have the best of oil refineries in the country, so we are going to be going with 75 RON fuel, as well as no mufflers or catalytic converter, but with a secondary reverse flow muffler on a single exhaust. And we'll just see if we can't make this better in any way. I think we'll double the amount of carburetors, and already is looking a lot better. Just reduce the header size, better springs and lifters, bring max RPM down. Ooh, the engine is actually dying, so bring it down quite a bit. Reduce the valve cam profile, whatever. Reduce the valves. Already looking a lot better. Maybe we can potentially... I don't think it's really worth it for the low-end torque. Though we can get the low-end torque without losing much of the high-end power. So I think we'll do that. Then reduce the exhaust size, and also reduce the carburetor size, and the intake manifold size. And 110 horsepower doesn't seem too bad. Oh goodness, that's an issue. Yeah, that makes sense. So we'll probably go down to about 8-to-1 compression. That seems pretty good, I guess. Yeah, that way it's not dying as much. We lose a bit of fuel efficiency, but as you can see here, like, we're getting quite into the power loss territory, so it's a pretty alright sacrifice to make. Let's listen to how it sounds. It sounds like a V6, like, there's not much to say about it. It's very smooth, which is good. You do want that, especially for a limousine. It's going to be a manual rear-wheel drive 3-speed, as 3-speed is just going to be just a little bit cheaper. As well as it's going to have a clutched LSD. It is going to be running on medium compound cross plies. It's going to have a solid disc brake at the front and a drum brake in the rear. It's going to have no under tray. It is going to have luxury seats, a standard 8-track, manual recirculating ball steering, standard 60 safety, progressive springs, gas monotube dampers and passive sway bars, and it is going to be on a comfort preset. We will change it up a bit, we'll do some modifications, but I'll see you after the time lapse. And here we are in beamng.drive with the beamng. It has pretty basic interior, but it's not entirely an awful interior. Oh goodness. The engine just goes quiet here. That's odd. Yeah, so just average interior. As you saw in the time-lapse, if you did decide to watch that all the way through. I did try and have 2 sets of seats, one facing backwards. Sadly, this body is just not long enough for it. Like, arguably, I definitely probably should have done it, but, like, that would have involved changing the car fundamentally. And it's just, it wasn't possible at all unless I scaled the seats to be a lot smaller, which, you know, not really, not ideal. Oops. Yeah, so we're here in Small Island, USA, or whatever it's called, and we're just gonna drive around, see how it handles. I picked this map because I believe it has pretty crap roads. It's gonna test out our hydro-pneumatic suspension, and yeah, so I did a few tweaks since we last spoke, such as the hydro-pneumatic suspension, as well as a couple of other things. So we have an off-road skid tray. I believe we might have disc brakes on the rear. Yeah, got disc brakes on the rear now. So the exact same specs as our front brakes, which have 2 pistons. They're about 235mm in diameter, and only difference is the brake force. We also have a handmade interior and I believe it's, yeah, the luxury 8-track. Had to remember what it was for a moment. It's handling pretty good. Yeah, so this is being made for a challenge on a server somewhere. And so that's why I needed to change quite a lot fundamentally. Well, not so fundamentally, but just quite a lot in the car in order for it to be legal requirements for the challenge. Well, not legal requirements, but to meet the rules. So that's why we changed it to have hydro-pneumatic suspension. It looks quite comfortable. Like, it's not had too many issues, which is to be expected from hydro-pneumatic suspension. Also changed the rear suspension, so it's now also double wishbone instead of the semi-trailing arm that it was before. Oh, here's we've done a loop. Yeah, so it's got a 3-speed automatic. This is not its stock sound. Ooh, this is a sound from beamng.drive. Because the sound that exported didn't sound as, I don't know, like, I'm just gonna say it bad, because as I wanted it to be. But ideally, I would want the current sound to be a lot chunkier. But this does sound low quality enough for me to, low quality in terms of the engine, not the sound itself, for me to excuse its thinness, if that even makes sense. Like, the idle The idle's perfect. It's very clicky and I like it. Yeah, you can see beamng's weird off-road physics where the top surface of the sand is technically liquid. So we sort of just sink into it as opposed to what would be realistically happening. So this car does have some form of off-road capability. I don't believe it'll be able to do this. Ooh, I think I might have removed the rear diff too. Yeah, definitely removed that rear diff. Yeah, so it's an automatic 3-speed instead of a manual 3-speed. That was also required in the rules. Can't quite think of what else I changed. Oh yeah, it's now running multi-point EFI on a twin plenum standard mid intake and a standard mid cast header, as well as I believe that's actually it for the. I think that might be it for what I've changed. Just trying to think back of what I did. I don't think anything else is different. Ooh, goodness. Don't want to go up there. Yeah, so we're just going to continue just driving this thing around. Just trying to see how it is able to cope with the vastly changing conditions. Sounds really good though. Like, I'm quite enjoying just listening to this thing, and I hope you are as well. Yeah, I'm gonna try. It's a bit too rock crawly for this thing, I'd say. But yeah, so this thing's running crosswise, but it's running. I think it's 163. Nope. Yeah. What? No, not 63. 165 in width, front and rear. Still on that medium compound. Yeah. So not greatest at off-roading. Like it will do for in terms of like gravel roads and stuff. Well, this sort of off-roading, it's just not designed for. It doesn't have the traction to do it, as well as it doesn't have the differential to just be able to make it so it doesn't spin one wheel and is actually able to use the power it has. So this version makes 130 odd horsepower instead of the 110 we were making with the carburetor. So it's definitely a lot zippier. Like it quite enjoys getting up to speed quite well, despite what automation saying it was. Like, it might just be a case of it feels a lot faster than it actually is. Let's see. How fast does it get up to 100 kilometers an hour? Yeah, probably about as fast as automation said it would do. But it also is. Yeah, I don't know. Like, it definitely feels faster than what it actually is. I could definitely say that for certain. Surprisingly few potholes on this map. I mean, as you can see here, they've all really sort of been filled, which is kind of surprising, given it's an island. But yeah. So, overall handling is quite good. Okay amounts of body roll. Let's slow down. Yeah, probably a bit too much body roll, but it's overall fine, I guess. Especially for the era. Like, it's only a 1976. It's not going to be perfect. And then, so under braking, yeah, it's very wobbly, but it's also it's not too bad, because I mean you're not going to be doing that at all in real conditions, but you're definitely going to feel it when, like, if you need to emergency brake. And then, so, under acceleration, does it have anything? It's not too bad under acceleration. Yeah, so, I don't think we're going to do too much testing with this thing. We've sort of done all we needed to do. Fuel economy was not really anything that needed to be kept in mind when designing it. I do want to just see real quick what RPM it gets at 100 kilometers an hour. Just from basically a noise point of view. So I believe we're in third now. I don't want to go too slow, but also we kind of do need to slow down for these corners and such, so cut back if I get up to 100. Oh goodness. Oh, we've managed to save it. Still not able to hit 100 though, which is a bit of a pain. Let's see if we can do it on this map. If we can't, we'll move over to a different map. Oh, there's a tunnel here. We should be able to do it here. Yes, it's about 2,600 RPM for 100 kilometers an hour. That's actually quite good considering it's only a 3-speed. I mean, you can't change the final gear in automation just yet. That's the next update. But, like, considering that I had to make sure that the final drive wasn't too high so that it could actually have some form of acceleration. 2,600 is quite good for this, so I'm quite happy with that, especially seeing as it's only like it's only 23,000, which I mean it's quite expensive, but considering it's the car of the leader of a whole nation, pretty cheap, even in 1976. So yeah, let's... Ooh, a bit shaky there. Yeah, let's go chuck this thing off a ramp. Something I've just thought, I wonder if my voice sounds better to people when I'm sick as opposed to when I'm quote-unquote fit and healthy. Because it'd be interesting to see, so... please tell me down below if you prefer my sick voice or if you prefer my not sick voice. Probably going to hit maybe 300? Yeah, not even that, only 250. Yeah, so while you're down there, consider clicking like, and maybe you see a red button down there, try clicking that, see what it'll do. Might do something cool, might make a weird bell icon appear. So if you want to get notified for any of my videos, you can either click that bell button and select all, or you can join my Discord with a link in the description down below, and you can then get a role to be notified whenever I upload a new video. Yeah, apart from that, thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you all next time.